Hello, everyone. You're listening to Lipstick and Leather, and I am on the phone with my good friend James Kottak. How are things going these days, James?
Well, it couldn't be better. I mean, under the circumstance, you know. But first, I wanted to say, Brian, it's always great to hear your voice. And I haven't seen you in a while since Sault Ste. Marie? No, M3 Festival.
That's correct.
And so it's always good to hear from you. And I hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Things are going good, and I've been looking forward to this interview since you messaged me, so it's going to be a fun time.
Well, good. I'm on my fourth cup of tea, so I'm a little jacked up.
Nice. Now, with Kingdom Come being back, can we expect a new studio album in the near future?
Well, you know, we would love to put something out. We have quite a few tracks recorded, and we have a bunch of more songs. Unfortunately, the legalities prevent us from putting anything out until we basically pay a licensing fee. And that's part of the business, you know, and rightfully so, because we're using the name Kingdom Come. So we'll see what happens, man. You know, it's a work in progress.
Now, you were working on a new Kottak album through Pledge Music before. Pledge Music, I guess, went under is the word. Now, What's the status on the upcoming CD?
Well, once again, I have several songs recorded. And you know what I was thinking about doing? It's like, you know, the odds of making any money are slim and none with music. I hate to say that. Nobody wants to buy CDs. Nobody, you know, in downloads, there's just no money there. And so what I was thinking about doing is taking a couple songs and just putting them out for free, or put a song out once a month. And just, you know, because I'd rather the music be out there than just sitting in the studio sleeping in a digital world. So, you know, and man, it's like Gene Simmons said, they're never going to put another Kiss album out. Why? Because there is no money. And he's a smart businessman, so whatever Gene does, I follow.
Now, will this album still possibly called Kottak?
Yeah, I was thinking Kottak would be perfect. But I also had a couple other ideas because I wrote a book when I was in Dubai, my Dubai debacle, and I called it, the book, I think I'm going to call it 33 Days. So I was thinking about making the album called 33 Days, but there will be no physical album because, honestly, it's too expensive. And, you know, I funded the last 4 Kottak albums, and I got some money back, and, you know, I kind of broke even. But there's no money to be made, unfortunately. And even touring, nobody wants to buy CDs. They want T-shirts, and that's it. And so we'll see what happens, man. I'm just kind of like, you know, like right now, especially with all the weirdness with all this stuff, I'm just kind of riding it out and seeing what's going to happen because Kingdom Come is my priority right now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if something else comes along, you know, hey, you want to play drums on this? Yeah, I've been asked for several things, but it was nothing I wanted to do. So we'll see what goes on, man. I mean, it's December, the end of the year. Hopefully 2021 will kick off with a bang, and we'll get back in the saddle again.
Yes. Now, will Gus G be asked to appear on your solo album?
I'm sorry?
Will Gus G be asked to appear on your CD?
Who?
Gus G from Firewind, Ozzy. I know you're a big fan of his guitar playing.
Gus G. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. No, I'm sorry. Are you kidding? I'd love to have him play on something. If he's in L.A., you know, I'll tackle him and get him down. He is one of my favorite guitarists of all time. He's so phenomenal. If you've never seen him live, go see him. He is just outrageously, incredibly great. And I mean, his band is as well, Firewind. And wow, that's. Thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for reminding me, because you know, time just dribbles by, especially here in the last year, and you know, I'm just kind of like chilling out, like not really forcing anything, just letting it happen naturally and see what happens.
Definitely. Now, the track Love Is Inside, written by Rudolph for the Return to Forever CD, will it possibly appear on the new CD with maybe Rudy guest starring?
You know what? I would love that more than anything because that is one of my favorite songs, and it kept getting rejected by the Scorpions for like years. And I go, guys, this song is phenomenal. And Rudolph said, of course, go for it, go for it. And I go, yeah, will you play on it? He goes, yeah, we'll see when the time comes. So hopefully he will because I love that song. It's, because there's a side of me, I love hard rock and I love this and I like punk and but then also I like just really good acoustic, strummy and happy songs. And I have quite a few of those. And that song is one of my faves. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Now, what about the possibility of nut houses in the movies and Apex's Save Your Love for Me to make the CD?
That's a good idea. I hadn't really thought of it. But I redid it and a couple different times. Redid it I was in a metal band in the mid-'80s, and we redid it. And but that's so funny you would bring that up because I really like that song. And but the way we did it on the Apex thing was very, very. I guess that was 1981. And but good, thanks for bringing it up. I mean, I'm flattered.
What about maybe some Needle Park era tracks that I would love to hear, been wanting to hear for a long time?
Well, we did one Needle Park song. We put Can You Feel It on, was that Unbreakable?
Yeah, I believe it was.
I think it was Unbreakable. I don't know, but me and Cece wrote that song together, and we did it with Scorpions, and it came out. I thought it came out pretty good. I mean, it's not anybody's favorite, but I like that song a lot.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were just chatting about your autobiography. Do you have a release date or a time for it to be released?
Actually, no, because I sent the first 2 chapters to a few buddies who are in that business, and of course, there's no money because the book business is just like the music business now. There's nothing, but once again, I would put it out maybe a chapter a month and see what happens because it's actually pretty long. It's 190 pages front and back, so that's like almost 400 pages. And it really gets very in depth into all aspects of my life. It's not like all about me. It's like from it's my perspective about rock and roll, about this, marriage, kids, you name it. It covers everything, and it kind of jumps around, kind of like the movie Pulp Fiction.
Right.
So we'll see, man. But I hope to do something with it.
Definitely. Now, tell me about your meeting with Johnny Rotten at Polygram Records many, many, many years ago.
With who?
With Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols.
I don't recall that.
Okay, fair.
Maybe I did, but I did play with. I did play with Steve Jones, the guitarist from Sex Pistols, and that was very interesting. I spent about 2 weeks playing with him, but he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, so nothing really materialized from that. But he was a really interesting guy, man.
Very cool. Now, you've played some shows with Mandy Lyon way back when. Did you ever consider doing maybe a project with Mandy?
If he comes up with some songs, it's the stuff he writes is so phenomenal. Because it's the heaviest heavy metal on earth. When you have a song called "It Ain't Easy Being Sleazy," I love that stuff. It's so in the gutter, and it's just. And he goes, "Call me Devil." I love Mandy. He's a great singer. So I don't know. He's out in Vegas now. He came to our show when we played there about a year ago, and I love Mandy. He's just a great guy, man, and a killer singer.
Definitely. Now, you played on a couple of cult demos, Judith, Sunrise, All Souls Avenue, and you were a member of the cult really briefly. How long were you a member of the cult for?
I rehearsed with him and recorded with him for about 9 months, and that was simultaneous while I was doing the Wild Horses album. And actually, I worked on the Ceremony album, and I actually recorded 16 tracks with them at Red Light Studios. And it was really odd, but they have a really weird connection with drummers and bass players. They use them, and then they kind of go, okay, thanks. And that's kind of the way it went with me even. And but they, of course, a few years later, they ended up putting out the Cult Ceremony Red Light sessions, and it's me playing drums on it, of course. But by then, it was too late, and their sun had set. But I talked to Billy a couple of times. We did some shows, and I still love the Cult, man, and they're just great.
Definitely. Kingdom Come, along with a couple other bands, Great White, White Snake, were known for their Led Zeppelin comparisons. Now, these days we have Greta Von Fleece known for their Led Zeppelin comparisons.
Right.
Have you ever heard from the Greta guys or met them or they reached out to you or anything?
You know what? We haven't crossed paths, but they did mention us. They mentioned Kingdom Come several times in press, saying, yeah, we're kind of going through what Kingdom Come went through, but we don't care. And that's the way my attitude always was. I didn't care. If you're going to be compared to somebody, be compared with the biggest band ever in the history of rock and roll, Led Zeppelin. So I never minded it, man. Are you kidding? I accepted it and took it and ran with it. However, our singer at the time did the complete opposite, and it really turned the press off. You and Greta Van Fleet are very smart young guys. I mean, they're only like 20 or something. I mean, I think they were like 18 when their first album came out. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, their music is great. And we were flattered that they even mentioned us or knew who we were, And but I plan on seeing them whenever all this crap is over with. They came through, but we were gone, and then I kind of missed them like one city,
Now, is there a release date for the documentary Ferocious Drummers that Jamal's drummer Billy McCartney put together that you're, of course, filmed for?
I forgot all about that. I think I filmed that, I want to say 10 years ago, but I don't know what ever happened with that. I'll tell you the truth. It was like there was some momentum there, and everybody did it, and then it just I never heard about it again. So we'll see. I would love for it to come out. Are you kidding? That was a great idea.
Definitely. Now, how was the experience on guesting on Drunk Uncle Pete on Methods of Mayhem album Public Service Announcement?
Well, funny enough is Drunk Uncle Pete was a Kottak song that we had and was going on an album. And then we went over to Tommy's house one day, me and Athena, and I played him like 3 tracks from our new stuff. He goes, "Oh my God, what's that?" I go, "It's Drunk Uncle Pete." He goes, "Play it again." He goes, "Oh man," blah blah blah. So he freaked out. So the producer of Kottak, who is Tommy Hendrickson, who is now the guitarist with Alice Cooper and the producer of the Hollywood Vampires, he ended up taking all of his information to Tommy, what was on the computer, and they took that and they manipulated it. So my singing and my performance, my drums and everything is on there, but I didn't physically go and record it because there we go, technology, and so Tommy was the mastermind on that, and I think he ended up producing more stuff for Tommy. I don't know. And so that was cool. I was very flattered, and Tommy was very going, "Dude, I love this song." I'm like going, "Killer." So that's what happened.
Awesome. Now, what do you plan to do with the James Kottak documentary footage that was set to be released around 2012?
Nothing, because my former friend, who was a girl who was doing the stuff, we kind of parted ways, so she refused to give it up, and she wanted a stupid amount of money for me to have the footage and stuff. And I go, No, I go, you were paid, you got to travel, you got to come here, you got to do everything. Um, it's like people just get greedy. They just think anybody who's in a big band is a gazillion millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like that. Oh, you play the Slash, you must be a millionaire. No, it's not like that. And I'm not in the poorhouse, but I'm definitely not a gazillion millionaire. And but I'm not stupid either. And it's like I just said, okay, great, keep it. I don't care.
That's a bit of a drag.
Maybe she'll do something smart and make a small version of it and put it out. Instead of letting it's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's hours and hours and hours of footage backstage at Scorpions, here, there, everywhere, you name it. And I'm a little bummed about it, but at the same time, after all these years in rock and roll, sometimes you just got to let things go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, you're involved with many projects with Johnny Edwards. Now, can we expect maybe a future project at some point?
Definitely not. We're still friends, but he's kind of like, been in family mode so long. I mean, he does his occasional show in Louisville, Kentucky, but there's just nothing there. It kind of ran its course. We tried, and then we had Wild Horses, but he left Wild Horses and joined Foreigner, and that really hurt big time. And then at Foreigner, he left L.A., him and his wife, and they went back to Louisville, Kentucky. He just kind of said, hey, I'm done. I'm baked. And I understand that. A lot of guys do that. They just don't want to deal with the crap anymore because it's face it, rock and roll, it's a really crappy business. The only thing worse is acting. And I've went on quite a few auditions. I got like 3 parts. I played a homeless guy twice, and I played a doctor once. And when I played the doctor, I had no lines. I just stood there and looked like I was cool with my stethoscope.
Now, what were these for, the movie auditions? Like movies or TV shows?
Both. One was a movie, the homeless thing, where I played a homeless twice, was for like a real movie. The thing is, they don't tell you what movie it is. They use fake names for the movie when you're there on set, and then you don't really know what it really is. And then where I played the doctor, that was, I think, for TV of some sorts. But it's a blur, man. That was like 2-3 years ago, but I'm still interested in it. But man, it's a really, you think rock and roll is hard, man. This is the most competitive business, trying to be an actor and get gigs and stuff. It's really tough, man. My friend has been, my other bass player friend, he's been at it for like 12, 15 years. He has 30 credits after all these years. And he's really worked his butt off, and he takes acting lessons and does this. And I admire him because I don't have that get up and go like that, man.
Was the movie ever released?
I don't know. I don't even know the name of it. all I know, I was in it, and the funniest part was I showed up. Have to get there like 7, and for the homeless thing. But the funniest thing was that I get there and I go up and I go. So do I go to wardrobe? And they looked at me. They go, no, you look great. You're perfect. Don't for the homeless guy. I thought that was a riot.
Now, did you ever hear the Canadian band Cauldron's cover of Buster Brown's Streetwalker?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever heard the Canadian band Cauldron? They covered Buster Brown's Streetwalker. Have you ever heard that version?
No, but I wrote that song.
That's killer. I'll send you the version, actually. Once we get off the phone, I'll Dropbox it and send it to your email address.
Oh, please do. That'd be fun. I wrote all the lyrics and a little bit of the music, but Alan, our guitarist, wrote all that riff stuff. I can't play like that. I don't even think like that. But that's just a big thing to do. That was in those days.
Mm-hmm.
But that was Johnny Edwards, and man, that guy, Johnny could kill anything, man.
Yeah, he's a great vocalist, no doubt.
Okay, I switched from tea to Coca-Cola.
Good choice.
Yeah, because I can't have caffeine after 4 o'clock.
Right.
Uh, oh.
Now, I love the new Revenge CD. Can we expect a follow-up at some point?
I hate to say it, as of now, no, because we got the deal with this Australian record label,
Mm-hmm.
and they promised us the world. You know, gigs, they're all in-house, press, this and that. And they also signed like Skid Row, Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, Rat. I mean, the list goes on. And they did nothing for anybody. And I was so disappointed because we met with them many times, and they go, okay, here's what we're going to do. And they gave us an outline, and we were like going, great, let's go. Because they have distribution in Europe and Eastern countries, and over there they still have stores like it's like the equivalent of Best Buy. It's called Media Markt, and they're in like all over Russia. They're massive, and they have CDs like they still sell CDs like crazy and albums. But you know, America's a different animal. You know, there's nothing going on here. So we were just really disappointed. Nothing really came of it. You know, we tried. You know, you can't. The record labels are weird, man. And, you know, they say they got this and they're doing that. They got all this money and they're going to do this and that and this and that. And what do they do at the end of the day? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And all the guys there at the label, they're very nice. But, you know, it just didn't happen. You know, you can have the best album in the world, but without the right label or promotion or all that, it means nothing. I'm sorry?
How are your cats, Snoopy and Sphinx, doing?
Oh, my God. Snoopy is being Snoopy. He's like 11 years old now, so he's slowing down. But Thomas the Sphinx, he's like 2.5 years old, so he keeps Snoopy on his toes. They run around here like crazy, man. And Thomas is like a nut, but he just scratched my face because he gets so excited. I'll be standing there, like at the sink or at the whatever, and he just jumps on my back out of nowhere. I have so many claw marks on my back. It's insane, man. But I love them, and you know, without them, I don't know what I'd do, honestly.
Yeah, cats are a lot of fun. I agree.
Yeah, you have a cat?
I do have a cat. Yep, he's meowing at the door right now, but I know he'd be meowing all through the interview. So 10 minutes, I'll lock him out, and then he can come back in.
I know you can't shut the door. Like at night, like I I'm sleeping, and I got Thomas comes in and out, and then here comes Snoopy every morning around 4:30. He's like, meow, meow, and if I don't acknowledge him, he takes his paw and like punches me in the face.
Right.
To wake me up. And they always have food, and it's like so funny, but I love them.
Right. Same. Well, thanks for your time, James. That was a lot of fun as always.
Ryan, it's always great to talk to you, and hopefully I'll see you sooner than later. The last thing, actually, we were talking about with our agent was to do a Canadian run.
Oh,
just, man. Start over in Toronto and just head west. Problem is, because of this last year, a lot of places, they don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to say that, but, and like in America, for example, we have, they're basically 2012, everything from 2020 got moved to 2021.
Yeah.
Exact same dates, times, everything. But the difference is, like here in LA, like we have 2 shows at 2 different canyon clubs, which there's about 5 canyon clubs. And one Canyon Club holds like 400, but they're only allowing you to have 25%.
Right.
So they're only going to allow 100 people in. That's like, how is anybody going to make any money?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's a very screwed up situation, and the politicians have no clue what's going on here, and it's really frustrating. And but it is what it is, and if you sit around and whine about it, you're doing nothing. And if you're bitter, you're doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to remain positive, and hopefully 2021 will shape up, because we're doing like Sweden Rock, and we had like 8 festivals in Germany and Czech Republic, and we were going to go back to Japan, and because Kingdom Come was a global band, we played everywhere. So we'll see what happens and stuff. And I did want to mention, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Uh-oh.
here.
Oh, I thought I hit the dumb button.
No.
Um. Anyway, but if anybody out there is interested, you can hit me on Twitter at jkottak, Kottak. Of course, I have my James Kottak website, which is being reconstructed because I got lazy and didn't tend to it. And then we got the Kingdom. Go to anything Kingdom Come. I think our Twitter is at Kingdom Come Band or something. I don't know. I always forget. But anything, hit us up, man. And for me, if you hit me on Twitter or my James Kottak Facebook, I always respond, to your messages or whatever. It may be a short response, but I will always acknowledge it. And, one other thing I just started doing is I'm offering virtual drum lessons. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, or just you want a master class, which means, you can ask me just about anything except for tickets to the show. So I'm offering that now. I got a great studio set up, and, it's not the same, but I'll tell you what, over the next year or two, this is the way it's going to be. I mean, because I have students right now, and I go to their house, whatever, but nobody wants you to come to their house.
Right.
Ryan, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you well up there in the snow as I'm sitting on my balcony, and it's about 70 degrees and sunny and mild. Well, I'll tell you what, I did about 3 other interviews this week, and this was the funnest one.
Thank you.
And, man, you're in depth, man. You're going back to Buster Brown and World War III, and that's really flattering that you took the time to, you investigate these things. But you're a true rocker.
Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
All right, brother.
All right,
hey,
James.
Have a great day and a great weekend, and stay healthy and wealthy.